Okay, we're back with Gilmour, and he wasn't here last week. A little bit worried he mightn't actually turn up at all. Gavin, Payne, welcome to Gilmour. How was the 1991 reunion?
Look, it was really good. We kicked off on Friday night, a couple of us, and we were still kicking on Sunday night after the Wynnum game. So it was a pretty big weekend.
Well, can I just touch on briefly the Wynnum game? A good first half, and then we just lost our way a little bit because we had some backs come in. Michael Purcell was back. He jumped in. Link Port had to go into the half. So there's a little bit of a mismatch in the back line, and that's not always a good thing against the Seagulls.
Yeah, no, they lost their 5-8 obviously midway through that first half, or perhaps later in the first half, I think it was, and seemed to lose a little bit of direction from there. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Still think they had enough guns to win, potentially, with a bit of a mismatch in those halves and so forth, and people that haven't played there. But you know, you learn from those experiences. It all helps, and hopefully, you know, down the track, it stands them in good stead. What did
the players say when you had a bit of a chat? Well, they're big players. They're fit. These guys. Was it obvious conversation about how the game's progressed in 30 years? Yeah,
look, I think undoubtedly they're bigger, they're fitter, they're perhaps not faster, but they're certainly a bigger human playing the game these days. You looked at some of us, you know, we were, 85, 90 kilos was probably some of the heaviest. We had obviously had a couple of forwards who were a bit more than that, but yeah, they've just grown so much. It's so much more professional these days even. I remember Langy used to be coming over, we'd be in the weights room and we wouldn't be doing any weights other than someone just going tink, 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 tink with a little set of weights. So it sounded like you were doing something. Then, of course, as soon as Langy come over, everyone's on the weights. He probably doesn't know that yet, but he will now.
No, and maybe that's 30 years. There's hope there, obviously, for the Tigers. Came close a couple of times, but not at all. All's not lost, but it's something. Are you looking forward to that be taken off you?
Oh, look, it'll be great. You know, I played here for 10 years. I played a couple of seasons at Ipswich as well. But this is home. There's a home club. I've coached here as well in the seniors and also down at the juniors. So you know, it's in my heart. I can't wait to be able to celebrate with the next club, next team that's successful here. We've had a couple of goes in my era, a few goes since then as well in the early 2000s, and even as recently as the mid 2000s. You know, out there at Ipswich a couple of times. So it's inevitable that it will happen. I think it's a little bit harder these days just because of the nature of the competition, where you've got the Melbourne Storm players coming back. With us, we could build towards a premiership. You know, you could buy a player in here and a player in there, and just look to fill those holes that you had. So, you know, I think it's a harder competition to win these days because of that factor.
I guess it's pretty hard actually to build a club culture when you've got players coming in and out. And when you probably played with the same guys for 4 or 5 years and built to that win. So it is a nightmare for the coaches.
It's such a difficult job. I admire them for doing it. They don't know who they've got really until the captain's run on Friday night or whenever that last run is. They could have 6 or 8 Melbourne guys. They could have 1 or 2. And, you know, it's just got to be a difficult task to be able to do that. And I know we aren't the only club that are doing that. There's other clubs, the Redcliffs and, you know, the Ipswiches and that as well, that do the same thing. And they've been perhaps a little more successful than East in winning premierships over the years. Certainly Redcliffe have. But I admire JB and all those coaches that have come before him in doing that, because it's got to be tough. Yeah.
Keep going. Gilmour, a few weeks ago, obviously a loss to the Seagulls, but the season starts this weekend, restarts again this weekend. PNG Hunters won't be easy.
No, I'm pretty good mates with Matt Church, their coach, so I keep in touch with him. Obviously an ex coach in the under-20s down here when I helped him out a number of years ago. So I've been pleased to watch him go through the ranks. Will be a tough game. I'm sure that he will be having those PNG boys, which they do traditionally, just running hard and tackling hard. And there'll be a few bumps and bruises on the Tigers at the end of the day. Yeah,
you got to feel the PNG Hunters. They're away from home for 6 months. It's going to be a tough ask, but they'll get out of the cage and go nuts against the Tigers as they have done all year. They're sitting pretty healthy on the ladder as well. So plenty to look forward to on the show this week. We obviously got Jon Buchanan. We're talking to Will Samuel, the powerhouse up the middle. We'll also talk to Mark Lydon and what's happening with the Colts. They go up to Toowoomba to take on the Mustangs. And we've got young, happy Gilmour talking to us as well. And also the women's competition rolled on. We played last weekend and they play again this weekend. And Kat Moore, or Dewey, he talks to us about their chances this weekend. And Matt Williamson is the head trainer. Now, every club has a head trainer. No doubt he's the most hated man in every club is the head trainer. Who was yours back in the day?
Well, we had Tony Stanton here for a while. We had, I can't remember all of them, but there was a few. No, they were okay. Mike Batch was another good one. We had kicking coaches. We only had that reunion and had our kicking coach, Graham McComb. As far as I'm aware, he was the first kicking coach to be involved in the Brisbane Rugby League, and from that contact, he actually got contacted by Wayne Bennett via Langy, and he was the Broncos kicking coach for 10 years or so as well. So it was, we had some good trainers.
All right, well, that's all to come with League More this weekend. We'll be back soon with JB. Okay, League and More. We are back. No footy last weekend. Jon Buchanan is with us. JB, there's no footy on, but you were busy, mate. You were down in Melbourne with the Storm.
I was, yeah. Look, I wouldn't say I was busy, but definitely down there for 4 days, and yeah, real good experience. Just seeing how they do things, and you can see why they've been so successful over a long period of time. Really professional organisation, and everyone seems to know what their role is, and everyone does their job really well.
It's not the first time you've been down to see how the NRL went. I think you went down to with Desi Hasler one time. That was a story in itself. That was probably a little bit different. Is there much difference between him and Bellamy, you reckon, when it comes to throwing pens against the window?
Well, I didn't experience the coach's box last week. Okay. I was on the bench on the sideline. It was quite good down there, which was different from myself. But no, he's intense. But yeah, look. Yeah, really knowledgeable, and just picked up a lot of little things off him, which is really good.
All right, now as I said, the NRL is what players are striving through for the Intrust Super Cup. So we've got a player who's actually pretty rare. Scored 2 tries a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, young Dean Aramiah. It was great to be down there last week because obviously he got the opportunity to make his NRL debut, and he's been really good for us each week that he's come back. And look, he's a 19-year-old kid on the way up, and he's a young Victorian. So as I was saying here just before off air there, I think over the 22 years or 3 years that Melbourne have been in the comp, there's only been 4 players from born and bred Victorians that have played NRL, and he's the 4th one. So it's a great achievement for him. I know he was really humble, and it meant a hell of a lot to him. We were there for his jersey presentation. It was pretty emotional, to be quite honest, and it was just good to see how much it meant to him and his family.
All right, he knows where the corner is. He knows how to score tries. He knows the full width of Totally Workwear Stadium. He scored 2 tries there a few weeks ago. Mate, this weekend you're up against the PG Hunters. Are we going to have him back, or is he? You don't know yet, but it'd be handy against the Hunters.
It'd be handy to have him back. I'm not sure yet, to be totally honest with you. Obviously, Melbourne's captain run is tomorrow, so I'll find out more tomorrow after that. But there's a chance he'll be back, and yeah, if he is, it'll be fantastic for us.
All right, against the Seagulls, Jared Beale comes off with a slight hemi twinge. Is he back to full strength without the bye last weekend?
Yeah, I think he'll go close this week. Obviously,
give him every chance there.
It's only our first training session tonight, so we'll just see how he gets through tonight, and hopefully it's all good, and we can move forward again later in the week with him.
With the PNG Hunters, they're a side that can score a try from inside their own dead ball. They're a bit like the Jets of old to a degree, but they've got a great support player, haven't they? They probably tend to push the pass too much. It's probably been their downfall. So you're going to have to be on your game to certainly win the wrestle in the middle of that in the middle of the ruck there.
But look, they run hard. They're going to keep coming at you all day, but they do create their game speed off the back of offloads and running hard. That's how they get their momentum. So yeah, we've got to be really good defensively. First and foremost with our contact, and if we can do that, we're going to give ourselves a chance to limit the opportunities they get.
Obviously, you want to go back to the way he played against Burleigh. Obviously, the first half against the Seagulls was good, but obviously fell away in the back in the second half. So it's certainly 80 minutes of football. The most beautiful player in your side, as we self-proclaim, Bennett Leslie. Did you see the interview?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, mate, it's a bestseller.
Is it?
It's yeah. He should have his own Netflix, so Bennett Leslie. But this weekend, you need your forwards to actually just roll up and play completely the opposite to what the PG Hunters do. Just keep consistent and hang on to the footy.
Yeah, we've got to control the ball. Like, you're going to win most games. You control the ball well and you defend. So nothing changes really, against any opposition. So be a long day if we keep handing the footy over against the Hunters, that's for sure.
All right, mate. Well, this weekend, obviously, Rycroft, know the ground at all?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Can't say I know it well, but yeah, I know where it is, and I know what we're in for. I think they've built a pretty good following with the local Papua New Guinea community and that getting right behind them down there. So I think it'll be a tough afternoon for us down there, but it's a challenge that we're all looking forward to. Hopefully we can bounce back after last week's result.
Well, yeah, the reason I asked you is because the expensive game of footy, you seem to use every inch of Totally Workwear Stadium. If you know what Rycroft's like, and if we've got all our players on the park there and we go wide again, I think it'll be a good afternoon against them. Yourself, JB, what was the biggest thing you learned out of the Storm the last 4 days? Because you would have been a test afterwards, wouldn't it?
Probably the thing that really impressed me was just the quality of people in their organisation, just all real genuine, and the way they welcomed us there was first class, to be honest. Like that, they included us in everything, and just you can see, they often say good people make good teams. So players, support staff, everyone down there was just really welcoming.
So we'll have you back with Lydon?
Yeah, I think we might both get a start.
Oh, really?
Again. Yeah, I think he might get another start, so it's not too bad.
Gee, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Hell's going to freeze over. Good idea. JB, all the best this weekend. Hopefully no injuries. Good to have Billy back in company, so hopefully full strength and get back on track with get 2 points against the Hunters. All the best, mate.
Thank you.
Lee Gilmour, and we are with one of the big men, Will Samuels, with us. Him and Aaron Booth and that man Payne absolutely carved up the Seagulls in the first 30 minutes 2 weeks ago, mate. You must have been really happy with that first 20 or 30 minutes. You guys just had it on. You're creating carnage out there.
Yeah, we are. We got a good middle pack at the front there, starting off. Me and Big Payne. But and Boofy, he's a crafty fellow, Boofy, and I think me and Aaron Payne just got a good combination off the middle there. Even Bennett Leslie in the middle there.
Yeah, the four of you were outstanding. What I liked most about, I think did you go the whole half? Did you come off or 30 minutes or something?
30. I think I've played 20 minutes in the first half.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. But you're certainly dynamic out in the middle there.
Yeah.
With that go forward, you were able to give Darren Nichols plenty of ball to put the ball high in the sky there. Where did you think the change came place? I mean, you got away to I think 14-0 lead at one point there. What happened?
I think we just went away from what worked for us in the first 20 or so minutes.
Yep.
Main thing was a lot of push supports with our middles and running their forwards out of the game. And then when we were doing that, it was working, and it was making a lot of space out there for the wingers and Darren Nichols to get we were laying the platform for them. And then I think we just went away from that and then got a few soft tries from Wynnum.
You tried to bust their defence, so you couldn't get across the line in the second half. Frustrating?
Yeah, there was a moment there where we should have closed the game out.
Yeah.
And
true.
We had many opportunities to score there, but we just I don't know. Look, we had to work on some stuff as a team, and I think individuals have to look at themselves and practice what we should have done in those periods of the game.
Okay. Is there now? So obviously, after the game, you don't talk about the game too much there, but during the week there, is there a lot of forwards versus backs chat? The pretty boys in the back line, although Ben Leslie is pretty. Is there a little bit of a competition, or is there a competition? Sometimes you see the left side and the right side forwards is scoring tries or getting momentum. Do you try and challenge yourselves in that regard?
I feel like I can't really talk for the backs because the left and right, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think as myself, I just try to take control of like what can I control.
Yeah. So, but if Payne makes a good break or Bennett makes big meters, that lifts you, doesn't it?
Definitely.
And you want to beat him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we do have that sort of competition between the middles.
All right.
But there definitely is that. Yeah.
Tigers, mate. You liking this season? Obviously, last year was cut short. Did you play any footy at all last year, or just out of your...
I played the first round for East, and then played a little bit of footy at Runaway Bay.
Oh, okay.
And the Gold Coast.
All right.
And enjoyed it there. Won the GF there.
Yeah. Oh, terrific. I don't know whether you're going to enjoy it this much going to the coast this week. You're up against the PNG Hunters, mate. They hit hard. Now, I was talking to Bennett Leslie. He said it was the most toughest game he played against the Seagulls. There's no let-up this weekend against PNG. You've had a week off to prepare. You looking forward to the ice bath already?
Yeah, I am. I actually made my cup debut against the PNG Hunters.
Oh,
so
okay.
I definitely wore the bruises after that game, and I'm guaranteed I'll wear it again after this one.
I spoke about Gerald Beale going off there. Did you put your hand up to play 5'8", mate? You could do it, couldn't you?
I definitely will tell the AB I'll put my hand up for that one. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you go all right, mate.
I think there's a few forwards in the team that'll put their hand up for that one, actually.
All right. Well, hopefully not. He might be back this weekend against the PNG Hunters. Will, Sammy, I thought you had an absolutely outstanding season so far. You can keep carrying it forward against the PNG Hunters. Get the Tigers back on track after a loss against the Seagulls. Great win against Burleigh. So, look, see how you go this weekend, and hopefully not too many bruises, and we'll see you around the traps again, mate.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Okay, the Colts, they go to Toowoomba this weekend, and their big man is Joseph Gilmour, also known as Happy, mate. Let's go back against the Seagulls. You got off to a flyer. You did what the coach told you to do, and you came away with the win. Big lesson?
Oh, definitely. Just having to the footy, I think, was the main thing. Just the past couple of weeks, completing at 60%, turn that around, high 70s, low 80s. That's the main thing. Just hold the ball in this kind of competition. Go a long way.
You got away to a good start. Is that a little bit to do with Totally Workwear Stadium because you're at home? Did that get you out of the blocks a little bit better?
Yeah, it definitely helps playing at home.
Yeah.
We've got that kind of mentality, kind of like our home ground, our fortress, kind of try to show up every week, win here.
You knew you were going to be hard against the Seagulls. Was there a little bit more aggro in the sheds? Was everybody a bit calm? Was there a little bit more nerves than usual? What was the
probably
sheds like then?
Feeling pretty good. Had a good week at training. Thursday, Friday, captain's run, and then into the game. Yeah, pretty confident actually heading into it.
All right. Well, this weekend you got to go up to the range. You got to take on the Mustangs. There's some big boys now. When you walk through the door, I can tell you're a front row. You're a big man, but they roll out big guys. I mean, these guys eat calves for breakfast. They're just massive. They gnaw on corpses out in the prairie and all that. They're just animals. How are you going to go against these guys? You've actually got to stick to your guns and not get flustered by these blokes?
Exactly. Well, yeah, they watching their games the past couple of weeks, they just stick around right to the end. They're just the whole time, they're at you the whole time. So have to be on it the whole time, that's for sure. Just stay on the grind.
Well, if by any chance, I've spoken to Will Sammy about this, if the number 6 goes down, you're getting short on halves, are you capable of...
Oh, for sure. I can slot it anywhere in the halves, back at fullback if you need. Yeah, happy to help Glitter wherever he needs.
These forwards they're giving poke. Now, Happy Gilmour, obviously because of the movie.
Yeah,
that's outstanding. Is that your favourite, one of your favourite movies, man?
Yeah, definitely one of my favourite
movies.
Oh, no, unfortunately not.
What if I go to your hockey school?
Yeah,
right?
Maybe.
All right. Now, you've got an interesting middle name.
Yeah, well, Danger's my middle name.
Excellent. All right.
Yes.
So I would have stuck with that than Happy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's just the first time I rocked up to training here in the Colts a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Just straight away Happy stuck, so that's why I get called here.
Should have been nominated that movie. That's what I want to say. But anyway, let's tell us about your growing up. You're obviously a young bloke. Where did you play your junior footy?
Well, grew up playing league, but then went to BBC, so kind of just played union throughout school. I only got back into league a couple of years ago, so...
Glad you're back?
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, loving my footy.
Better than union, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. A lot more freedom to do what you want, really.
Exactly right. So, all right, listen, Joe, all the best this weekend up against the Mustangs. It should be a crackerjack game, and obviously, we've got a number 6 to fill in for you, Glitter, just in case somebody goes half, fullback, water boy, cheerleader, anything like that, mate.
For sure.
Good luck, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Mark Lydon is back. The big win against the Tigers 2 weeks ago. You're up against the Mustangs this weekend, Glitto. All that good work could come undone. What have you done for the last 10 days?
Actually, I spent 5 of them in Melbourne with JB, going through the Melbourne system. It was really educational. I enjoyed it, actually. I learned a lot of stuff, and hopefully I can bring it back here and hopefully be a better coach.
Let me just ask you about that, because coaching, you would think it's a simple game, rugby league, and you're up against 13 against 13. How hard could it be to coach? Although, I mean, you are only 27 and you just aged terribly. Look at him, it's a shock about. Hey, but you guys are always learning as well, aren't you?
Oh, that's what it's all about. Yeah. You know, you educate yourself and then you educate your players. So you're trying to make them better. So my job's to get these young blokes into Queensland Cup, and we've had that a couple of times this year with Solomon, Vatafi and Big Happy Gilmour, who's coming in here next to get interviewed. Both of them have played Cup this year, so that's a positive. And at the end of the day, that's my job, is to get them into Cup.
So, we're all learning. What do you know about the Mustangs, mate?
Watched
the big boys,
a bit of video on them when I was in Melbourne, cut some video for the boys. They're a big side, big country boys, nice and tough. They haven't won a game yet, but they put 34 points on Burleigh on the weekend. That's something we couldn't do, so that's a selling point from me to my players. All that hard work we did to knock Wynnum off, it goes to waste if we don't go up there and put in a decent performance.
I'm guessing you got to get away a good start again. Pretty simple.
I'd like to think so. I had a look at them, and I think if we play some flat and fast footy around the ruck, they've got some big boys, we can get some joy there. There's a couple other areas I think, hopefully they're not watching this, I might be giving them a few tips on how we're going to play. So, but look, we certainly won't be taking anything for granted. It's a long road trip up there. It'll be a tough road trip, similar to going to Tweed. So I'd like to think we're going to be ready to go.
When it comes to 70 minutes, do coaches, instead of getting off to a great start, do you do a bit of rope-a-dope? Do you actually absorb a lot of their energy and then come home fast? Is that a tactic you may use it this weekend? Is that something that the coaches use, or you?
Yes and no. Look, sometimes from a coaching perspective, you may look at the bench and think, well, in my opinion, their bench isn't very good. Yep. So we hang in there, we get into a fight, a bit of a dog fight, or rope-a-dope, whatever you want to call it. Hang in there. When the bench comes on, that's when we go hard at them. Okay. So that's an area depending on the opposition.
Yeah, and the weather, I guess.
Well, the weather plays a part too. If it's wet, you want to get off to a good start because it's going to be a close game. 9 out of 10 times you don't get too many high-scoring games in the wet. Slows everything down.
Mate, any players coming back from injury?
Not that I'm aware of. I've got young Cossey coming back from a suspension. He was a naughty boy. Apparently you can't rest your knee on someone's head. Other than that, we'll be pretty well as last week. Justin Smith's out injured for a long period of time. He compound fractured his thumb. Yep. Well, it's a little disappointing, but I'm just not sure which way I'm going to go with that one. I've named a side today. Whether that side is the side that takes the park, I'm not sure yet. A lot depends on what JB does and what Melbourne does as well.
All right. Well, I can guarantee whatever you guys put pen and paper on Tuesday is nothing like what's going to ride on Saturday. It was with every club and every coach. But anyway, all the best. Congratulations on obviously the win against Wynnum down at. Congratulations on getting out of Victoria without a rap sheet or an anklet on or anything like that, mate. So good on you. So I believe you're going to be invited back maybe one day.
We get a couple of trips down there, and I think they're on the sunny coast for an extended period at some stage. So they've invited us down there as well. So maybe we made an impression on them. Who knows?
All right, maybe make an impression more than you on this beach wearing your budgie smugglers, Gledo up the Sunshine Coast.
What a horrible sight.
Albatross smugglers, actually. All the best, and thanks for talking to us again, mate. We'll catch up with you next week on League and More.
Thanks, JD.
BHP Premiership, it rolls on. We didn't have any footy last weekend, but that doesn't mean that the BHP Premiership players can't muscle up for a week while the boys have a rest. Soft. Cat Moore joins me. Hey, can I go back to last weekend's game? A tough road trip, as always. A lot of heat up there, and you just couldn't quite get away. They're a good side. They're sitting third on the ladder.
Yes, they are. They've been improving every week. I think they lost their first game. But just been coming back stronger every week.
Are you guys getting stronger every week?
Look, I believe that we are. It's hard to... We're a very new team. All the girls, I think there's 6 that came back from last year. So we're building new foundations again and, putting the team together nice and strong.
You can't win it every year. Only one side can win. Now, the Burleigh Bears 8 years ago were not the side they are. They had young players as well. So with Adrian Vowles at the helm, players like yourself, Kat, Nelly, all the TikTok stars that are in your team, if you hang in there and build for next year and the year after, it'll all come to fruition. But obviously, you just got to get that first couple of years and first half of the season under your belt. You've had a good win against West. No, you got beaten by West, but it was a good game against them because obviously the Premiership 2 years ago. So you're building nicely. Road trip's always tough. Yourself, do you see that Adrian Vowles' magic is working?
Absolutely. I mean, the culture in this club has changed enormously. So, hats off to him. He's done a great job there. as opposed, I mean, he's got to make some tough decisions, you know, who to play every week, who to pull out. So, you know, he's got to stick to his guns on the decisions he makes, and we're 100% behind him. So he's been fantastic for the club.
And it doesn't help you get injuries. You know, some of the superstars. You know, I think young Nelly, who's on like 50 grand a game or something like that. I mean, when she goes down, it hurts, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. I mean, she's our electric for the game, so our up and go. And I mean, not to say that we don't have those other girls, but she's definitely.
But this is character. It builds character. It builds what you can do with when the chips are down. You can bounce back. This weekend, what do you got?
Look, we just want to complete our sets and work on our 1%ers, and hopefully we can get a win this weekend.
Yeah. All right. Yourself, how did you end up playing rugby league?
I actually grew up in a little town called Ilfracombe out in the middle of Queensland.
I played golf there.
Is there a golf course?
Yeah, it's the sand greens. It's terrible. I think it's only 9 holes.
Yeah, just can't imagine. There's not much there.
I've got it there and come back with ticks and everything on me. But that is Rugby League Heartland down there.
It is Rugby League Heartland, absolutely. Yeah.
All right then. So hopefully you can build this weekend. Yourself, do you have any superstitions when you play footy at all?
Not really. I'm the braider for the team, so I get in and braid everyone's hair, and then I've got barely any time to get ready.
Do you do bowsies?
Oh, look, I've asked him, but he
really?
Won't let me.
Mate, can you tell me about your nickname?
Dewey Egbert. Okay, so...
Hang on a second. I knew it was Dewey. What's Egbert?
Oh, that's the full nickname.
Well, I thought Dewey, it had something to do with the bear that they used in semi-pro. That was the safety word when Will Farrell wrestled the bear, and the safety name was Dewey.
Nah, my dad has been calling me Dewey since I was 2 years old, and my brother called me Egbert, so it became Dewey Egbert. And it just stuck.
We always say to our children for some reason, and then there's a reason for children to hate their parents, and there's a reason right there. But anyway, so do we listen to all the best. What position do you play?
I am the lock for the team.
Okay, and you played in the backs ever?
No. Look, I'm a utility player,
Yep.
so yes, I have played in the backs, but it's not my favourite. I love to get in the rough and tough of it. So.
It's a short season. What we do when the BHP finishes, will you keep playing footy?
Yeah, a lot of the girls are going to filter down to some other clubs, I'm not sure. I might head out to Gatton yet. I'm not 100% sure. So.
Oh, well, we'll see how you go. So Dewey Egbert on the road.
On the road.
On the caravan of love. Wonderful. Listen, all the best this weekend. Okay? You guys are building. You'll take the losses, but good sides either bounce back or you kick rocks. You guys don't kick rocks.
No, we're definitely going to bounce back. Yep, 100%.
Beautiful. All right, Kat, thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you.
This is League and More. A lot of stuff happens on the field, a lot of stuff happens off the field, but the most hated man is the trainer, Maddie Williamson. How are you, Maddie?
I'm very good, thank you very much.
Great to have you. Listen, you've been here for a while. You're part of the furniture.
Yeah, I've been here going on 12 years now. Yep.
All right. In that time, we talked about Jon Buchanan and Mark Lydon had to go down to the Storm training.
Yep.
You've got to also improve your techniques as well. So you've got to be schooled you've got to go and do these seminars as well to improve your techniques.
Oh, yeah, we update our skills as time goes on. It's always good to do that because there's always new things that come in. So, you know, as a head trainer, I'm always trying to make sure that my staff are updated all the time. So, yeah, and you have to do that. Being this level now is getting towards NRL level now. So, yeah.
So pre-season, mate, as I said, you're probably the most hated man here. How do you go? Do you obviously structure the whole 6 weeks?
No, I don't think I am. I think you'll find the strength and conditioning coaches are.
They're the most hated.
Because they're the ones that say, you will do this under this time and there'll be extra penalties. Whereas I listen to them when they whinge about it. And I agree with them.
You must have pretty good hearing. As the head trainer, HIA, it's all very relevant these days, and we try to look after the noggins of the play. So you've got to be up to date with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really great. There's so many grey areas with that now. I think it's just that if there's a 50-50 call, you go that's at the head of HIA now. It's just
and this is your call, isn't it?
It's my call. Yeah. So you've just got to make sure, and you've just got to. As I said, if it's 50-50, even 60-40, no, you take them off. Nowadays you just have to because. You know what I mean? Like at NRL level, they're watching on screen. So if the trainer's missed it, they don't miss it. They can send the trainer out. But with us, we don't have that. So we've sort of got to get it right then and there. And so I sort of edge on caution.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. As head trainer, obviously you've got to be fit. So you're a pretty fit man. You look after yourself?
Yeah, 50 next week too, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah?
Yeah. Probably mentally about 16, but I'm 50,
Yeah, I know.
physically 15.
Just a quick one, mate. Do you like your cricket as well?
Yeah, been at the Redlands Tigers. I'm a life member there. Been there 22 years. Actually, they used to be called Eastern Suburbs.
That's
they were
they did
here.
too.
This was their home ground.
Exactly right. Just a quick one, mate. On the Wanderers tour, you didn't get to blow a bugle by any chance, did you?
Yeah, I did. I think if you look on TikTok, you will find that. Yeah, that sort of pops
up
up here. Yeah, it was. But it was a good one, you know. And
Yeah.
they said, well, we wanted to get someone that was going to take that as a joke. And I said, yeah,
hope-
well, we know it was good. It was
Hopefully
funny.
got the clip there, but you're a good sport as well.
Yeah.
Mate, before rugby league as a head trainer, did you play the game?
Yes, I started off at Beval Swifts in juniors in Ipswich competition, and then I went on to play for the Ipswich Jets, which, you know, being Ipswich junior, you always wanted to play there. But I was an East supporter as a kid, so I always had ambitions of wanting to play for East.
Okay.
But I went on to play for West in Brisbane after I left the Jets in '94 and played the rest of my career there, West in Brisbane. I know I come from an era where you grew up and you watched the Brisbane competition. So, and to actually then wear those jerseys on these fields, and you know, it was such an honour. I mean, I don't think the kids nowadays have that same sort of passion for it, but you know, you came through and you saw guys like, you know, Payne and Gavin Payne and stuff, you know, and it was a massive honour to wear those jerseys and play against Valleys and Redcliffe and Easts. Yeah.
Can you remember the first year you were here as the head trainer?
Yep, I can remember it very well. I remember my interview for the job.
Oh, okay.
And I remember they said, okay, sat down and I had the interview with Ray, and he said, we'll talk to you. He said, we'll get back to you. And I said, great. So I walked across the field. I was halfway across the field, and he yelled out to me, and he said, you still want the job? And I thought, well, yeah, I did like 30 seconds ago. He said, well, we've decided we're gonna put you on. So 12 years later, I haven't done anything wrong yet for them to get rid of me, but
Hard to think 30 people would quit in 30 seconds. Just like
Oh,
that.
well.
Once they saw you walk through the door, they
there
said,
you
"We've got
go.
no chance."
That's how I've been here ever since.
And you
And
haven't changed a bit, even though you turned 50. So you're 38
yeah,
when you start. So how
Yeah.
good's my arithmetic?
There
Pretty
you
good.
go.
Matty, as I said, there's a lot of people who talked to Luke Harlan last week about, obviously he looks after the players mentally if they've got any problems, but obviously you're a head trainer. You've got to look after these players in another facet of the game here. So it's a big machine that works towards getting 17 players out in the park.
Yeah, and you're dealing with physios too all the time, you know, and medical staff. So yeah, you've got to be up on it. You know, it's just you can't take things for granted. You can't let things slide and I'll do it tomorrow. It's got to be done now.
Yep.
Things have got to be checked off because it's just that's the way it is now. This is competition. It's very professional, and it's the way. And you're dealing with NRL players, so
Okay.
it's just got to be
Do you prefer the yellow or the pink high vis gear?
yellow or pink. Probably. I was going to say pink. No, it'd have to be yellow. It's got to be yellow. Got to be yellow.
Maddie Williamson, mate, always a pleasure, mate. And he is a great cricketer. He is a good sport, and he's also a really good club man, which we don't have many of them these days that stick around for as long as you have, Matty. All the best, mate. And
Thanks,
we'll
John.
see you
Thanks for the
around
chat.
traps.
Thanks
so
for the chat.
Give a yellow to Matty when he's running past, and you always say
Get off the field, I usually yell. Get off the field,
No,
trainer.
not at all, mate. That's the referees. That's the referees. All right, mate. Oh, actually, just a quick one before you go.
Yep.
Have you had a run with a referee ever?
No, I don't. What's the point? Get on with them. Get on with it. It's like cricket. Get on with the umpires.
Get on with the game.
If you don't get
Umpires,
offside with them, you're in trouble.
All right, Matty Williamson, all the best, and thanks for joining us here on League and More.
Thank you, John.
All right, that is another episode, Payne. Glad to see you back, mate. Mother's Day. Nothing better than that. Wrapping that up and send it to your mother for Mother's Day here this weekend. That is the Firehawk shirt. You might be able to get this weekend. We're not at home this weekend. We're up against Redcliffe in a few weeks' time, so hopefully you can get that. It can be late. Just put a card in there or take a photo. Give that to Mum, the Firehawks. A lot of things happening with the NRL competition, expansion-wise in the news. Seems to be something happening all the time. Getting close.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. You know, obviously the Firehawks from a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking to Shane Richardson. They're pretty confident. They're holding their cards pretty close to their chest, so it remains to be seen.
All right, League and More, another great episode, and it's good to see Payne. He's back, and both of his livers are still working.
Drying out.